Hey guys, SickMotion here with the patch 6.7 notes. Still in the same format. I was going to try out a different format with these patch note videos, but it takes more time for that one. And being as this one's a day later than I wanted it to, and I'm still squeaking together time to try and fire it off as quickly as possible here, I'll have to wait until I'm a little more free. Oh my, I gotta fix this. Give me a sec. It's distracting me how the sides aren't even. Let me just move that over there slightly and just there. Okay, there we go. All right. Aryan Soul. I haven't seen this dude that much, and he stopped getting banned. He was getting banned quite a bit before because new champion, but stun duration decreased half a second at level 5. That's pretty big. And the ult slow is now half the time and much less slow, but it no longer decays, so it's more reliable, but less and less. So less reliable, really. Corki, pretty big nerf here. 0.1 total attack damage on his auto attack ratio. So half of that being magic damage, half of that being physical. It's now 1. So it's a pretty big nerf, actually, to Corki, being as he does a lot of auto attack damaging. I don't know how long it's been since I've seen Aurelia in a patch note without red next to her name, but she got a buff here. The mana cost on Blade Surge gone down 10 across the board at any level. It's 10 mana less. And the total attack damage ratio is 0.2 higher. And that's a total attack damage ratio, not bonus, so that'll go with her base damage as well. Basically, you're going to be able to use your Q more often. You got to keep in mind it refunds half the cooldown if you kill a minion with it, so it'll be refunding only 25 now instead of 30. But it'll still be net. You're spending, if you're getting the refund, obviously, 5 mana less, not actually 10. And with the 0.2 attack damage ratio increase, with the way that they made minions, playing Aurelia before this season was kind of more reliable, I found, for knowing if you could one-hit a minion with your W on, with your how much damage you had with the level of your Q, if you had a Sheen or a Trinity Force. Now with the way that the minions kind of scale with their health and stuff throughout the game, it feels like you're unable to last hit. Usually the range creeps is what you were going for, even with a Trinity Force proc. So having the total attack damage ratio increased, it obviously increases the damage on your Q, but for the most part, it's going to increase the reliability of last executing something, whether it's a minion or a low champion, to get a reset on your Q, which is very important to her playstyle. So Jin, some nerfs here. The damage on his Q is down 10 at any level, and the mana cost is up 10 at any level, but the E cost has actually gone down 10 at any level. And fixed a bug where High Noon Jin was enormous. Not sure what they mean by that. Anyway, Kindred, nerfs on Kindred. Her passive heal off of her W has been decreased at early levels and increased at later levels, which is overall, I think, a nerf to her. That healing later on is not nearly as important as early on, when it's small numbers like that. Now you can no longer you can no longer cast your ult on your teammates. You can only self-cast it. New players won't really care about that, but really good Kindred players, you were able to cast it on your players, on other people on your team to get that area in different places of the fight. So if you didn't want to, say, cast it under their tower, but you were about to die, you could cast it onto your teammate that was off their tower and then dive into it before you died. Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Rip Kindred players. A little bit less skill ceiling on her. Lysandra has some visual updates, blah. Lux, the movement speed on her W is slightly slower as it goes out, but much faster on the return. Overall faster than last patch, which it was changed in. Nidalee's pounce damage has gone down 5 at level 1 of her ult, obviously, because that's where the pounce damage comes from. 5 at level 3 and 10 at 10 at level 3. It's confusing because you get your ult at level 1, but basically Your basic kitty does 5 less damage, your level 11 kitty does 5 less damage, and your level 16 kitty does 10 less damage with Pounce, and at level 6, it's the same, just to confuse you. So Poppy, big changes here, got gutted pretty hard. I've been playing Poppy a little bit. I still think Poppy's very strong. I've played her quite a few times, but you can definitely feel every one of these nerfs every time you play her if you were used to playing Poppy. The first of all, the range on her passive is decreased, so you have to get closer to throw your passive, which is annoying. You no longer reset her basic attack when auto attacking with the passive. A lot of people didn't realize this. Poppy players, especially, will feel this really hard if you're decent at Poppy. You walk up to a minion and you throw your shield, and then you auto attack it again right after. You can't do that anymore. And with her really low attack speed, it's you throw your shield, you go bake a cake, and you come back and you do your auto attack afterwards. It affects a lot of things. I played Jungle Poppy today, and her clear speed's a lot slower because that's where it was. You're always using that auto attack reset, even without noticing it a lot of the times if you didn't notice it before. Stunning someone into the wall, queuing auto resetting, and then your Q exploding. You stun them into the wall, queue them auto with your shield, wait 2 hours for your next auto to come off. So definitely feel that way. Her Q damage has been changed. The base damage is lowered at all levels, being 25 damage lower at level 5. But the percentage of the target's max health is up. It's worse for farming. It's worse on squishies. And then if you do the math here, at level 5, if your target has 2,500 health, the level 5 damage will be the same. So, and then it goes upwards from there. Not enough to make the just the flat damage. Like you might on tanky targets maybe get like 10 to 15 more damage per Q off because of the way they changed that. But for farming, for killing squishies, for basically everything, it's going to feel worse, and I can confirm it does. Heroic Charge also had 100 off the range, just like her passive. That's pretty big. As far as the feel for Poppy, the further you push them back from, the further you push them. If you try to push someone from right on top of them, you don't push them very far, and it's really hard to get a stun off. Whereas if you line yourself up to push them from max range, then you're going to push them further. It feels like you aren't able to push them as far because you're not able to charge them from as far away. I don't know if that's actually the case. Don't quote me on that, but that's how it feels just from playing a lot of Poppy before the change and then a couple of games of... Actually, I played like 4 or 5 games of Poppy after the change. So overall, she still does what she did before, less effectively. Every single one of the nerfs you can definitely feel. Rammus's R cooldown is now 100 at level 1, 80 at level 2, and then the same 60 at level 3. A lot of the times you weren't even using your ult on Rammus. I mean, when you don't have it, you won't have it, but a lot of times you're just using it as a wave clear because you're like, damn, my ult's such a low cooldown. It's still quite a low cooldown, but maybe you won't be just blowing it so liberally just to farm waves. Soraka, her Q has been increased from 40 mana at all ranks, goes up 5 per level, up to 60 at level 5. And her heal has also had mana cost increases, so it's not just who cares about mana regen, just spam everything all the time forever. I still hate Soraka. She's still a mega no fun champion unless you have her with you, and then you can do fun stuff. But I don't like playing against Soraka. Moral of the story. Phoenix stance on Udyr, the damage per second is down 5 per level, and the proc damage is down 15 per level. And his base health regen is lowered as well, so less sustain and less damage. And that less sustain will be felt more because you'll be taking more damage in the jungle because you're killing the stuff slower. Zed's W increased. Level 1, 4 seconds, and then it goes to 14 seconds at level 5 still. And the passive attack damage bonus is 5% less at level 5. Which is quite a lot. If you think maybe have 200 bonus attack damage, that's it's 10 less attack damage. You're a longsword off, which isn't going to be the make or break in a lot of situations, but enough to feel it. Bunch of splash changes. Personally, I don't like most of the new splashes, but we won't get into that here. Maw, huge nerfs to Maw actually. 10 less magic resistance, and the attack speed when you're lifeline procced. You still get the spell vamp, you still get the lifesteal, but you're losing 25% attack speed. So that's huge value nerfs and huge just playability nerfs with the Maw. But I mean, it was kind of like everyone buy them all the time forever, even if they don't have much MR, because if it procs, or they don't have much AP damage, because if it procs, you get all of that extra damage from the lifeline passive. Pretty big changes to Warlords here as well. Effectiveness versus minions for range champions is now 25% rather than 50%. It's still 50% for melee champions, and I'm assuming it's still the same for both melee and range versus champions, but for as far as just sustaining in lane by shooting minions when you have Warlords, it's half as effective for range champions. I think that'll affect top lane Graves as well. Death timers have been rebalanced to be less punishing between 30 and 55 minutes. I haven't really noticed anything change with that, so it would have been nice to get some context and numbers there. So a vision change here. If you can see an enemy champion without the assistance of wards or vision effects, they can always see you and vice versa. Grave, smokescreen, or other vision reducing effects aside. Fix the bug where killing blue trinket would reveal the area around it for a short period of time, and fix the bug where attacking an enemy champion near a wall could give them vision over the wall. There's a lot of situations where you'd be hooked on a wall, and just based on the angle they were looking at you at, where their character was, they couldn't see you, but you'd be able to see them. Weird stuff like that, or you'd kind of be on the edge of a bush, but not in the bush, but they couldn't see you, but you could see them. Weird type things like that. I guess they're trying to clear up. They're making a rotating game mode queue. Probably won't play that much. I usually just play ranked on stream. So pre-made limiter here. I've had a lot of confusion in my chat with people saying, yeah, you've been getting a lot of random plat players on your team, or that game that I posted on my Twitter the other day where the enemy team was, everyone in there was either soloed or duoed, I think, and the enemy team had 3,000 LP more than our team. If you take into consideration a Diamond 5 and a Diamond 1 player are about 400 to 500 LP difference from each other, their team was 3,000 LP higher than our team. It was very poorly match made. But I had some other weird stuff. I was Diamond 1, and I got 3 Platinum 3s on my team and a Platinum 2. And we were against all Diamond 5s. No one pre-made. Just weird stuff like that. This will not affect that and will not change that. A lot of people were saying it would. This is not what the change is. This change is to stop a challenger player from duoing with before you could duo with any diamond player. So a challenger could duo with a diamond 5. So the challenger player could duo with a Smurf challenger player who's playing on a diamond 5 account and get really easy games because of that. Honestly, they were probably just doing it so they could get really short queue times because no one wants to wait in a 30 to 50 minute queue as a challenger player. And they probably didn't give a shit about the ranking in the game. They just wanted the queue times to go down. And now Riot says, no, you're not allowed to do that. You earned that rank. Now you will sit in that queue time. That's my opinion on this whole thing. But yes, in Diamond, you can only queue up with 2 divisions higher and 2 divisions lower. They count Master as a division, they count Challenger as a division. So to queue with a Challenger player, you have to be Diamond 1 or higher. To queue with a Master player, you have to be, I think Diamond 2 or higher, I'm assuming. And everything lower than Diamond is unaffected. Unless you're queuing with a Diamond player in Platinum. Then you're going to go by that Diamond player's rules. But that won't affect very poor matchmaking system, giving you random ass ranks all over the place. I think Scar had a gold player on his team in a ranked game. It's taking a kind of little while. Just whatever, put a gold, yeah, whatever. Maybe they won't notice. Tell you what, that gold player sure as hell probably noticed. Hextech's crafting and loot update. Key fragments will now drop in other game modes other than Summoner's Rift and alright. At launch, Ultimate and Legendary loot tier were marked with gemstones. We're adding clarity to the system for the 2 other higher tier loot tiers as well. Something more than glass. The 4 highest tiers of loot are Ultimate, Mythic, Legendary, and Epic. Okay. Mythic loot currently includes only Hextech's Annie. New animations have been added to Hextech's crafting. Honestly, I have not gotten a key fragment in over 4 weeks, about 60 hours of play a week on my stream. It's been about 240 hours of League of Legends and I haven't got one key fragment. You need 3 key fragments to make a key to open a chest. So am I having to play for 720 hours to open one chest? Then I really don't care about this whole system. It's just another system to print money, it seems, with how hard it seems to be. I've heard it's easier in pre-mades and whatnot to get the keys, and getting higher rankings helps as well. I can tell you I've gotten S games multiple times in all of that, but maybe you have to pre-made. Maybe it's telling everyone they have to hold hands and be friends. I don't know. Overall, the whole crafting system has been kind of just bland for me. But I mean, I have most of the stuff in the game that I don't really need it. There's some bug fixes here. Not going to go over them. We're going to go down right to here and see the Mecha Zero Scion skin is coming out soon. I've been playing a lot of Scion lately. I've played a lot of Scion since the rework. I enjoy playing Scion, and I'm super excited for the skin that turns you into a Transformer train when you're chugging down their team. Also, there's a new Soraka and Lissandra skin, but no one cares because there's a new Scion skin and it's awesome. But I think it's going to cost a lot of money. I think it's a legendary. But I've played with it. I played with it on the PB. It is pretty awesome. I do enjoy it. And with that, that's the end of the patch notes. Damn it. We went longer than I was hoping to go, as we always do. But, oh well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it helped you in some way, shape, or form. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel for other videos like this, or go check out the channel and see if you like what you see there, and then decide on that later. Social media stream link are in the description as well if you want to check those out. I primarily am a streamer. This YouTube channel came after the stream, so you can check that out as well. And other than that, have a good day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.